It is now 6:11 p.m. August 12th, and this regular meeting of the Yigo Municipal Planning Council is now called to order. At this time, I'd like to ask the secretary to please take roll.
Yes. Lawrence Alcairo,
Present.
Robert Martinez. Good. President via Zoom. Vice Mayor Pedro Ross.
Present.
Gregorio Calvo. Joseph B. Cruz Jr. Elizabeth Flickinger. Peter Frias.
Present.
Jack Hattig. Mayor Francis Gonzalez.
Present.
Jonathan McDermott.
Present.
Present via Zoom. Norma Salas. Peter Santos.
Gratitude.
Geraldine Tennyson. Present. Benito Toy Torres. You have 9 present, 2 via Zoom.
We have four. In compliance with the open government law, the first meeting notice was advertised in the Guam Daily Post on August 5th and second notice on August 10, 2026, and posted on the Government of Guam Public Notice Portal. Additionally, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the Yigo Mayor's Office YouTube channel. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June?
Motion.
A second.
There's a motion by Vice Mayor Bloss, seconded by Councilmember Norma Salas. Is there any discussion on the motion? Is there any objections to the motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Financial report. So for the financial report, the fiscal year 2025 carried over. This was from last year and it was carried over to this fiscal year. For the general fund, our expenditures was $17,705.44, which leaves a balance of $1,363.23. Our gift account, expenditure $42,466.14, with a balance of $10,861.55. Our limited gaming fund, expenditure $10,293.50, balance of $16,047.75, and the Mayor's Council Operations Supplemental Funding, expenditure of $5,369.51, and a balance of $10,728.25. Keep in mind that these the amount of the expenditures and the balances may change due to procurement requests that either has been canceled or will be returned due to no response, or the amount that we allocated for the expense may be higher or lower. So all the balances may change. In addition to that, the procurement for FY 2026 closed July 31st. So we are not able to do any procurement from the appropriated funds. Okay, so the debit buffer strip revolving fund. This revolving fund again is generated by the buffer strip along Dedado. The businesses there pay a portion into this fund. And so a portion of the funds go to Dedado, a portion comes to Yigo. So our expenditure is $59,648, which leaves a balance of $48,346. And then for our fiscal year 2026 funding, for the admin operations, expenditure is 8,951.21, which leaves a balance of 14,733. The general fund, expenditure 8,016 with a balance of 9,984. The GEF account, expenditure 49,660.65, a balance of 12,767.21. The limited gaming fund, expenditure of 15,392.37, a balance of 2,689.63. And the MCOG operations supplemental fund, expenditure 81,994.11, a balance of 23,268.89. Again, all these balances, the expenditures and the balance are not, or may change because, again, procurement, we have to finalize the procurement. Once the PO is issued, the amount may be higher or lower, or if there's no, when they cast out for procurement and there's no response, so the procurement request is then returned back to our office. So again, that amount will be credited to the account. And then our non-appropriated funds, which is the checking account, our month-end balance for June was 3,878.57. Our revenue for July was the interest paid at 3 cents. Our expenditure, which is the service charge for July at $15.10, which gives us a balance, end of the month for July balance of 3,863.50. However, back August 4th, there was a deposit of 2,854, which brings our account balance to 6,717.50. And then moving on to the BOG account, the emergency funds. So this account, although procurement closed July 31st, this is extended to the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th. So we can still do procurement for this account. So the total amount that was given to each village mayor's office was $250,000. So of course we have to divide that into the salaries, overtime, benefits, and all the other object class contractual supplies, equipment, miscellaneous, and capital outlay. So for salaries, so far, due to the overtime, of course, the total amount for salaries was $4,033.81, and that's for 2 pay period endings, which is July 11 and July 25th. So that gives a balance for salaries. We started off at 9,000, and of course 4,033.81 for the salaries, which leaves us a balance of 4,966.19. Overtime, we started off with 136,000. Total overtime, 25,438.33, a balance of 110,561.67. Benefits, we started at 5,000. Expense was 903.68. Contractual, we started at 10,000. However, what I did was I took that 10,000 because we didn't have any need for contractual. I took that 10,000 and we transferred it to 450 under capital outlay. Supplies, we started 22,000. Total expenditure was 17,938.88. Of course, 3,500 of that $22,000 was transferred again to 450 capital outlay. So that gives a balance of 561.12. And then equipment, we started at 22,000. Our expenditure was 6,856. And then we transferred 10,300 to object cost 450 capital outlay. So that gives a balance of 4,844. Miscellaneous, we started at 6,000. Our total expenditure was 6,000, so balance is zero. Capital outlay, we started at 40,000. And then, of course, the amounts that was transferred into 4,000, which was 23,800, brought it up to 63,800. Our expenditure is 63,407, which leaves us a balance of $393. So for this entire account, the total remaining balance of 250,000 is 125,422.30 of the 250. So again, we are still allowed to do procurement up until September 30th. Although procurement closed July 31st, because of the law that was passed when they appropriated this to the mayor's office, September 30th is the deadline. So, any questions?
Does it revert back, if we don't use it, does it revert back?
Well, it should, but I'm making it a point that we don't return anything.
Yeah, I mean, just like.
Yeah, same thing with Sinlaku. I know they said there was a deadline, but my understanding is that they're going to extend that. So whatever remaining balance of Sinlaku, which was for Yigo 38,000 of the 350,000. So, definitely we will try to spend every penny of it.
We should.
Yes.
We should do a law to.
Yes, and the good thing with Sinlaku is that we were able to purchase big equipment, backhoe, water blasters, trailers, riding mowers, bush cutters, pole saws, I mean, every equipment that we could think of that the maintenance guys could use. Same thing with Bobby account. We're trying to reconcile the balances so that we know, at least on the mayor's council and BOA side, so that we know that we're on track with the account and the amount, because we would also like to purchase more equipment for our maintenance guys. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve the financial report? Ms. Frias made a motion,
I'll second.
seconded by Pete Santos. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objections? There being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to the mayor's report. So, last week, Tuesday, August 4th, Hawaiian Rock Product held a public meeting, and this was because it was a requirement in order for them to reactivate their quarry located at Santa Rosa. So the public hearing, or public meeting, I should say, was held on Tuesday, August 4th, 6 p.m. at the Yigo Gym, and it was conducted by Hawaiian Rock and Mr. Felix Benavente. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend because I had prior. However, the vice mayor did attend, and I think we're going to turn it over to the vice to speak about it.
So, primarily the audience there was my family, right? So a lot of my family members who own property along the way to the entrance of the property in question, right? They showed up. And a lot of the right questions were asked, like as far as what exactly they'll be doing. So they will be, I believe the word is grading. They'll be grading up to no TNT, no blowing up, right? Rocker. They're not quarrying in that style, nor are they what's it called? Like jackhammering, right? Yeah, they're not doing any of that. They have a different method. So of course, the sound, the noise interruptions, right, was in question. One of the conclusions that they came up with was that when you're quarrying to that capacity, there's going to be some sound, but they plan to only operate from the hours of like 7:30 to 5 p.m. So basic working days, so that and if you guys just need like a little imagery on it, alongside their fence line is literally just houses right there. So you can look out the bathroom window and see what they're doing,
Is this,
right?
where is this,
In Mount San Rosa, if you're familiar with the Rocky Mountain Tree Caps area.
yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah, so in there, so there's houses immediately around
Yeah.
the quarry. So, noise complaints, they don't really anticipate it into the night. They have solutions to the dust that will be flying. They're gonna be watering, I believe 3 times a day. So questions like that arose, and they will be digging downward. I did ask if digging downward does anything geographically, right, to the surrounding houses, or just the land in general, right? Because it's a big wall already. So if they're digging down, does that mess the foundation of everyone that's above? So I guess what they kind of did, what they said to assure us was that they will be utilizing it for the next 3 to 5 years. That's 3 to 5 years. So it's not really in the long run kind of thing. So they're not going to be doing it actively. I believe it's just to help them with the extension of their current quarrying site in Mila. So those questions arose. And then I believe the biggest problem though of the night was just that there is a triangle piece of property owned by one of my cousins right in front of the entrance to their gate. So he plans to build there. They need to figure something out on how they're going to get to their site, right? If their house is, or the property's right in the middle of the road. So that kind of turned into a different discussion amongst themselves. But other than that, I believe it wasn't as hostile as we could have expected it to become. But there's a lot of understanding that came with it, and why not? One thing that I'll give it to them is that they really assured not only me, right, but the family, that if there were any questions or concerns that arose, they will be readily available to answer our questions and concerns. So yeah, that was a turn off for me.
Is your cousin the only that, I mean, is that?
No, so they have
Is it?
they actually are passing through 4 different private property owners to get there, because there's no legal easement open.
Mm,
And to be honest, to open that legal easement is gonna cost $1 billion.
Yeah.
Cliff and whole cliff, right? So,
Not this one.
yeah, so that was a concern that was always gonna come up, I believe, because they've done this before where they tried to renew their permit there, and the question on the easement came up again. So that's one of the biggest problems that they're facing right now. One of the solutions is to lease to the current property owners, but then that'll be up to the president to contact each private property owner, work out a deal with all of them.
That's your friend. Right?
Yeah, so, and then you got some on the fence, some,
Yeah.
let's do it.
But that if they really want it, they will do it.
Yeah, exactly. And they were even, we can buy a property and trade you for it, stuff like that. So they really needed to happen, and they're
They'll
trying
make it
to.
happen, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Did you say anything on the road?
No, so, well, kind of, and that's one of those things that we needed people to ask the proper question there. Because they're going to heavily use Route 15, and they're gonna be using Mount San Rosa, so, and that's dump trucks in and out, 5-6 days a week. So, they try to be good with them, we'll pave that whole road, but the question goes from, okay, you pave that whole road, might as well pave the whole mountain, but if you do that, you need to pave Route 15 first, because the traffic, yeah, exactly, so, that topic though is definitely still on the table, and, hopefully the connection that I made with Mr. Crackers, who is the representative of that project side. Yeah, so as long as I think we're in good communication with him, that could be something on the table, but again, their answer to that was, oh, well, we got these projects that we were asked to do by November, this stuff like that. So can understand that they have different priorities, but at the same time, if that's what they're gonna be utilizing 6 days a week, we definitely should.
It's not only them, our public or people,
Yeah.
the last we want to see,
Mhm.
who are in
And already, there's a lot of, there's a lot of construction work going on as is, right? So if we bring Rocky Mountain, I'm thinking Rocky Mountain, but now we have to think bigger, Hawaiian Rock. Hawaiian Rock's gonna be up here, then, there's a heavy impact on our roads, and we can scream DPW all we want, but the people want us to go through that project,
All the time.
Yeah.
Your responsibility, I'm going to follow. Even though,
At the very least, I'm hoping they give us some cold mix, just on
Something.
demand, right?
something,
Any questions? Okay, moving on, VITA QC3 grant program series 9 is being offered to all the mayor's offices, and it is they're eligible up to 15,000. And this is to support grassroots community initiatives, facility improvements, and operational needs. There are 5 areas of interest, which is healthcare, public safety, economic development, higher education, and cultural preservation. Again, like the previous grant that the vice mayor applied for, the project has to be completed within 12 months. It's a 1-year program. Any unexpended funds, any remaining balance will revert back to VITA. The application deadline is Monday, August 31st. So what I did was I attached a copy, and if you guys have any ideas, I'm open to the ideas, any ideas that you want to work on for this grant. Yes, so, just let me know. I'm gonna be working on it, but, if there's anything that you would like to do, that we can, reach out to maybe somebody in the community that's like cultural. We all talk about preserving the culture, the language, perpetuating, and so I don't know anybody here in Yigo that has a dance group or does a tomorrow class on their free time. That's one of the things that was brought up.
a grant to cover that? A grant to cover something like that?
Yeah, that's up to 15,000.
Oh, wow.
So somebody had inquired about, is there anybody in Yigo that can teach tomorrow class outside of school, of course?
There's a guy on my graduating class. He does adult tomorrow class, immersion classes, to do conversational. I could see what he can do. I mean, I could see.
So the reason why I
Does it have to be
asked,
from Yigo?
the reason why I asked
Oh.
is because somebody had asked me, they're going up to Georgia to attend the class, but they live in Yigo.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of finding someone who's willing to do that, because really, if you look at it, nobody's doing that except the schools.
Oh, Mr. the Taijin family, right, Block 15, that's that.
So I think
Are you still alive?
no, not the old man, the son.
The son
The son is
took over.
taking over.
Yeah.
The son took over.
I think how we can look at it though, right, is like how the mayor is saying is if the idea is to perpetuate culture, right, the money we're probably going to paying the teacher,
Right.
providing the supplies, stuff like that.
Materials, yes.
Under economic development, I mean, we've been talking about reestablishing like a night market. So we could use that to help, offset the cost of running that.
So, if you guys have any other ideas, these are just ideas that we're kind of throwing out. So August 31st is the deadline. They don't wait till September 1st to tell me.
Do you guys have any ideas?
Well, the tomorrow, what is it, the tomorrow class is one of the things because several people had asked, so. Okay. Anyways, moving on to Senior Citizen Center, as you can see, retiling is ongoing, the windows, the replacement of the glass blocks, leaks are being addressed, that's ongoing. The painting of the exterior and the elastomeric on the roofing, that is ongoing. As you can see, they painted the exterior already. So, and then of course, we have another procurement that's pending, which is for the restroom. Unfortunately, I wanted to do both, but doing both men and women would allow this project to have to go out for bid. And because already the timeline had passed for projects to go out for bid, one of the recommendations was, why don't you just do one for now? So I said, okay, if it's gonna get the process going, so I figured, okay, we'll do the women's restroom first. So. So that one there, I'm still waiting on the award. There was a site visit by several vendors, contractors, and so I'm just waiting on the award. Once that is awarded, you'll receive them, they will start immediately. Because, every time I go and visit my uncles, they always ask, when are we going back? And I feel bad because it was only supposed to be a short term for them to be at a Stumbo, but I figured while they're there, this is an opportunity to do whatever repairs and renovation that we need to do. Because again, it's been over 30 years since anything has been done, actually nothing has been done since this opened up. In 2000, I think it was 1999, 2000.
When they first did, yeah.
When they first opened
Somewhere
up.
around there, yeah.
Yeah, so nothing has been done, and so I think it's due time, this is their second home, away from home. We need to make sure that it's safe and, up to par and, things are working as they should be. So these are the projects that are ongoing. Come next fiscal year, definitely I will work on the men's restroom. And so, for the meantime, we're still waiting on the field for the women's. But other than that, everything's ongoing. The project is going on as planned, and so I'm excited. And once everything has been done, I was just talking with Pete Frias that I'd like to do a rededication. And one of the things that was brought up during our council meeting was, the mayor's council meeting was, because it's known as the Yigo Senior Citizen Center, maybe we should rename it. Instead of Yigo Senior Citizen Center, I don't know, like another name that doesn't mean, because when you say Yigo Senior Citizen Center, people think, oh, that's for the Manampos, right? Yeah, so I mean, given that there are Manampos, there are Manampos, but, maybe a different name, something to think about, So, it's gonna be a while, but, if we can come up with some ideas of what to rename it and let's rededicate it, once it's done. Any questions? Equal National Heritage. In June, we had that breakfast meeting. I attended myself, Pete Frias and Geraldine. Norma, I'm sorry. And so they would like to meet, in the north, before August 31st. And I'm thinking that this is, also to do, their survey. Yeah, this whole, yeah.
That's survey they're talking about?
Yes. So they want to meet, before August 31st, so, and they also want the residents to be engaged. It's something that we can push out to the community and, we can do, a meeting. I just need to schedule a date when, we can meet with them and hopefully the council is able to participate. Moving on to Tycoon Bobby, of course, the account. Aside from that, the maintenance, Vice, Ethan, and the Vice has worked diligently in collecting all of the debris along the roadways, easements, and clearing as much as they can. And that is still ongoing because we have residents who are calling in, the Manamcourts, those who live alone, the disabled, who need help in removing, fallen trees and stuff like that. So we're still working on that. But, the Vice and Ethan and the maintenance guys have been working very hard on that. So, in addition to that, the Greenway site, located at Mystic Road, that has been cleared. By DPW, both, Bobby and Senwaku debris. So there should be no debris there. I just received, an email from DOA. The financial report for Bobby, is due August 17th, next week, Monday. So that's something that needs to be, provided to the government, the legislature, and also, to DOA. So, and then also, the non-appropriated, funds, our checking account, DOA sent a letter. So that should be part of the government, financial reports, which, it should be, because it's funds that we collect, although it's not appropriated, but, we manage the account. And so that should be part of the report, and they are requesting for bank statements and reconciliation. So, that I can submit to to them, by Friday or even Monday. The new school year, the first day, of course, Ethan, the guys, and the Vice were out there, directing traffic because, of course, we all know the first day is usually the hectic one, the chaotic one, because parents are trying to get the rhythm of flow of traffic. So, we're giving them about 2 weeks. We're gonna do 2 weeks, to at least be there to direct traffic in the morning and after school. By then, they should know the rhythm. But, aside from that, we're doing what we can to also assist the schools. I know FB, had asked, assistants to do some, cleaning within the area, Chalan Escuela, especially, where a lot of illegal dumping, has taken place. So, I know that, Ethan communicated with the Vice, and the mayor from Denville, because they're also willing to assist.
So I spoke with Mayor Yigo, the idea would be both of our mayor's offices, because there's the boundary there, right?
Yes.
Half of the day off, Yigo, more or less. But for us to tag team one day, it would be very, good for morale, right? But, just to have us together, it's pretty much good. There's also kids that still walk home within that area, right? I know when I was going to school, that was, people just use that just to go, even 5 or 6, just to take the long path home, right? So,
I have a quick question. I just took that road, the one that leads to a stick, the other day, and I saw the sign, the school sign. Is that painted, or did you guys notice it? It has some graffiti on
Yeah,
it.
graffiti still,
Yeah,
so.
So-
Maybe we're gonna something to
just
this.
bringing it up.
Yeah.
And then also, I saw that you guys had found bees at the
Yes,
Paris.
yes,
What happened with that?
So, oh man, the crazy Chihuahua and me, I told him that, send a video what it looks like. Here, bye, so I send it. Swarm, right? I said, well, we all gonna burn it, right? I was like, but when I got there, I was like, man, really, there's people who do this the right way,
Yeah.
and people will benefit too. So, I called my cousin Chris Rosario, the bee guy. Then he got his guys to come out to find out. The school, I believe, called them since last week. They went last week. They took out a good chunk of it, but then they kept flying back. So because there was honey inside the tree. Yeah. So what we had to do was we cut out a chunk of the tree that had the honeycombs, and then they took it and then cleaned out it. Torched it a little just so they don't come back in, and then so they were all safe.
They're still making money.
Yeah. And then some of the maintenance guys had their first experience at eating honeycombs. Had sawdust all over it. I was like, here, try it out. So they're-
Still good.
Yes, still good.
Yeah.
Just spit it out. Yeah, it was good. These didn't, no casualties, no one got stung. But most importantly, the kids weren't affected too because that playground is out of commission, but they're still playing like in this patch of grass not too far from the tree. So, yeah, I don't think these kids to get stung.
And so they're still trying to remove the tree that was cut down. Yeah, because apparently that took up the teacher's parking. So, yeah. But another thing is, Machinana, I emailed DPW because if you notice, in front of Machinana, there's supposed to be a center lane. But nobody, a lot of the motorists don't know that there's a center lane. And so, encroaching onto the center lane, there was a few near mishaps with parents trying to make a left turn into the school. And of course, you have oncoming cars encroaching on the center lane. So I emailed DPW to see, because that's under the federal highway, they're supposed to maintain it, but, I got inquired if they give us permission, we can go out there and just temporarily mark the center lane so that people are aware that there is a center lane. Especially for the parents who are looking to turn into the school. So I'm just waiting on a response. I know the deputy was out, she's been out sick. I haven't heard from the director. I did follow up, so I'm just waiting. So that's one of the things that we're gonna try and work on, hopefully before Monday. So, but other than that, things have been smooth, no mishaps. But it's gonna get better. We're giving the parents at least 2-3 weeks to get the rhythm of the flow of traffic. Any questions? No? Okay, on to open business. First item is the application by Mr. Eric Choi. They did their presentation last meeting. Unfortunately, we as a body have to conduct the 2 public hearings before their application moves forward. So we can schedule that for the next month to coincide with our YPC meeting, and of course, after the council meeting, like the previous, we would have to draft resolution to land management. So that one there, the public hearing by land management was done May 6th. Unfortunately, I was off island at the time. I did call requesting for the minutes of this public hearing. Any questions? No. Moving on to item 2, which is the application by Calvo Enterprise. The 2 public hearings was conducted prior to this meeting, and so Is there any questions? Of course, Mr. Sweet is still here. And
Could
go ahead.
I brief real quickly?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Dan Squigley here, joined by Kyle. Let me quickly summarize where we are tonight, since there are, by my count, at least 4 council members who were not present for the previous public hearings, okay? What we're looking at here is a 50-unit apartment directly behind directly behind Yigo Palis complex. And we will be part of the Yigo Palis complex because we have a back entrance for vehicle traffic in and out, as well as a pedestrian. So we're looking at this whole block as one multi-purpose residential commercial development. Now, there have been 2 types of concerns voiced at our June 17th public hearing here. One was specific concerns about the master plan, not enough parking, traffic on Chalangallo, privacy, sidewalks, house rules, et cetera, et cetera. The second concern was generic in that there are some people who just are not sure about having a multi-family project at the fringe of that neighborhood up there, yeah? So both types of concerns are legitimate, sincere. I totally get it. I totally respect them all. After all, it is the essence of public hearings to get public feedback like that. Regarding the specific concerns, and I'll make this as quick and as painless as possible, there were 5 concerns. The first concern is will we create additional traffic on Chalangallo? Yeah, that we will create some, okay? Every new development generates more traffic. Well, what are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to do 2 things. Originally, we had 2 egresses along Chalangallo from this project. We did 2 things. Number 1, we moved the primary ingress and egress as close as possible to the intersection of Chalangallo and Marine Corps Drive, thereby eliminating traffic we might create in this area where neighborhood streets come in. Secondly, we added up here an ingress egress that goes through the Palis parking lot and back out. Now, as we mentioned in the last couple of public hearings earlier this evening, we're going to figure something out about how we're going to get in and out up here. But the point is, this will help eliminate traffic on Chalangallo, which is one of the concerns we've asked to address. We can do this because that whole project and this whole project are owned by the same company. So that allows us to do that. Real quickly then, the second concern was the number of parking stalls that we had. We originally suggested 110. We increased it to 125 because there were questions about, well, if there's not enough parking stalls and people park along the street and stuff like that. That's all true. So we added 15 there. Thirdly, was the possibility of noise coming from this apartment structure. So here's what we've done. We have a set of house rules, a long set of house rules, and every tenant will sign it. And one specific part of that was how we'll address the prohibition of noise and behavior that is disruptive to other people, all right? And so the remedies for violators will be legal proceedings, which can definitely include eviction. So that's how we are going to take care of the possibility of noise coming from that project. The fourth concern that I heard June 17th was the need for a sidewalk along Chalangallo, the complete length of our project. That is this thing right here. It's done. Right here. And the fifth and last concern that I heard was privacy, because there is a cemetery over here, and there's, it's a solemn grounds, and of course we want to be good neighbors, so what to do about that? We did a lot of research here, and we found that other projects in this situation develop what they call a privacy wall. And that's what this is here. A new 6-foot high concrete wall with a mural and anti-graffiti top coat. Meaning that from here to here, we will have a 6-foot high, this is on the other side of the 15-foot buffer strip, a 6-foot high concrete wall. A concrete wall can be many things. What we're suggesting here is maybe a mural theme that befits the neighborhood or something like that. We'll pay for the mural. We'll pay for the anti-graffiti top coat, which works. I used it. The anti-graffiti top coat, and we will maintain that wall and that mural permanently. Yeah. So those are the 5 things that I heard during the hearing, and that's how we tried to respond. Now, at first glance, it may seem nice for the neighbors to have 3 acres of jungle at the fringe of their neighborhood. I get that too. But on the other hand, we know from experience that such vacant pieces of jungle often can attract illicit activities, homeless, and even fires due to arson or some driver along Charlton Gallo carelessly flicking a cigarette butt out during the dry season, right? So it's not always good to have jungle in your neighborhood. All I'm saying is here is that, in my experience, 55 years now I've been doing this on home. In my experience, a well-designed and managed apartment complex can be an asset and be positive for a neighborhood. Okay, that's what we're striving for. That's why we went through all these pains in the last 3 months to make these changes and to show that, yeah, we're trying to be a good neighborhood. Yeah. So, one last point that bears mentioning, and it concerns this point. There is a need on Guam, and particularly in Yigo, for more rental units. Yeah? Okay. So I searched Guam Realtors multi-listing service just this week, and I found that there are 56 units for rent in Yigo. 40 of them are houses. There's only 16 that are apartments, okay? And we can understand that the rent for a house would be much more than a rent for an apartment. Actually, the houses went for as much as $6,600. So with only 16 apartments, my point is this. That's not enough for Yigo with 20,000 residents. I think we need more. And we all know that affording a house, particularly these days, is out of the question. For example, the most recent survey shows that the median price for a house on Guam, not a new one, just a house for sale, is over $400,000. Okay, so that's the number we're dealing with. Again, that kind of market breeds a need for rental units for people that we all know who are looking for a rental unit that they can start a family with, go somewhere with friends, get jobs, and just get started in life, all right? We only have 16 in Yigo right now. Lagu Village, which is this, would add 50 new apartment units. They're modern. They have lots of amenities, court, barbecue, jogging path, walking path, basketball, etc., etc. Rents, this time, we see them between $2,000 and $3,000 a month, okay, for the 2-bedroom and the 3-bedroom units. We think, with approval, we can get a groundbreaking within a year. That means design and permitting within 1 year. There's nothing super fancy about this, okay? We've done 100 of these. We think we can do groundbreaking within a year and ribbon cutting within 3 years for the whole project. That would be our earnest and realistic goal for this project. Now, I fully understand that your job here is not easy. Frankly, I used to be on this municipal planning council years ago. It's not easy. It never is. So, on one hand, as I see it, we have to balance the concerns for the neighborhood to make sure that you're good for them, right? That you don't make any decisions that they would find totally acceptable. And secondly, you also have a responsibility for the welfare and economic growth of Yigo. So if you agree that all these changes that we've made to the concerns work, and you agree that 16 apartment units are just not enough for Yigo right now, then I ask for your support for this application. As you know, the mayor just mentioned it, the MPC, area MPC is required to submit a resolution recommending to the GLUC either approval with conditions, or disapproval, all right? My request is that you consider a resolution for approval with conditions. And those conditions should be the changes we made and the promises I'm on record for stating, in the public hearings, that those be your conditions for approval, okay? Now, I know there's a bunch of them, and we have to go back to the record. I'm very happy to help the mayor and vice put together that list as a draft, right? So we have it accurate, so that we didn't miss anything. And I'm very happy to help you with that if that's the way you want to go. And I hope it is. Any questions?
Any questions?
No, just a suggestion, maybe,
Please.
that if you are really gonna build that wall, besides a mural, maybe like Paris Acres, when we pass through lights on top of the wall. Lights on top of the wall.
Oh, yeah, they do have that.
Yes, they do. I mean, just to
That's nice.
give
Yeah.
light up a little bit of the street.
Not, yeah. Oh, I see. Maybe
On top.
the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the sidewalk's right next to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and if people
So-
are walking, it's lit up.
So downlights. I've done so many public hearings, right? And neighbors don't like lights
Yeah.
because they're glary, da. But your point is well taken. If those lights are down to the sidewalk, they're not going to go that way. Yeah. Okay.
It's just a suggestion because it's dark now.
Another promise we will add to the conditions. Good point. I didn't think about that. Anything else? Thank you again. This is the last time you're going to hear me.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 3, 82nd Liberation. As you know, the parade was canceled, and so, however, the Queen and her royal heart, our Princess Felicia, they've been attending the functions, when available, which majority of them. I know today, during the mayor's council meeting, there was a proposal by Mayor Vijay Chalapi, proposing that our candidates, the voting court this year reign for another year, which will extend to 2027. And that's because they didn't get the full, the Liberation Parade and.
They didn't get a chance to ride on the floats.
Right, but, of course, that was put up to a vote. Unfortunately, it fell. And I think because one of the questions that was imposed by, Mayor from Honda is what if there was a candidate or someone who was interested in running next year? How do you address that? So, it's unfortunate that, it turned out this way, but, we're talking about this reign for 2 years. I don't think, it's never been done. And so, of course, sticking with the program, 82nd come next year, 83rd, and we're still at 82nd. So, again, that motion fell. So, we're back to, trying to find a candidate. So, that being said,
Is there anything, that says that he can't run for another, liberation?
there's nothing in the rules that says that, but, of course, I think, in speaking with her, she realized it was a lot of work.
Oh,
And considering because she also works.
mm.
Yeah, so. Yeah, so just want to put that out there. But, again, my apologies going back to the application by Apollo Enterprise. Again, a resolution has to be, presented to the land management from the council on our stand with this project. So, is there anything you wanna?
No, well, again, I just, give you credit for, really taking the comments at the last meeting into consideration and trying to find a solution rather than, letting it, take you out of the game, right? And just like you said, you guys never start and end a project in the same way you planned it, right? So, I think I would just put it out to our council members. How do you guys feel, just in general, for full transparency? What you know to be that back road to Payless, that will take you to back road, there will be a big apartment complex there. So, I'd like to see how you guys feel about that. We accept it, then.
Is it gonna be gated going in?
There's gonna be a guard.
A guard, because that, just that in general might hold up traffic, because the guard has to verify, just putting it out there,
Well,
in general.
yeah, you know what we should do? We should, put that guardhouse farther in the property,
That's just, yeah.
right?
because-
Put that guardhouse here,
Yeah, because
so
in
that we can
general.
stack 3 or 4 cars. Thank you.
Yes.
Are you an architect? Should have been, okay.
But, on that, it's no different from Paris Acres.
Yeah,
Paris Acres, there
sometimes you get
are
stuck.
century,
Yeah, right in the front.
so,
Yeah.
And that's at an intersection.
Now, what you did was
yeah, and that's an
was
intersection.
tollway.
But
Or
then you
freeway.
can always push these, what they do at Grand Acres, push, code.
Yeah, put your code in, yeah, that'll be
So
there.
quick access.
Yes, we will have a code,
Yeah.
Yeah, we hope not. Put vendors, right,
Yeah.
guests and things like that, they have to be there. You're right, okay, we'll move the guardhouse.
That was just a suggestion, just so it doesn't impede traffic very much.
It's gotta be in one of the conditions of the approval. I'll see to it.
And then I think just another thing to bring to attention, just like relating to your comment earlier, Pete, about will this be military? I totally agree with your sentiments, right? But one thing that I think, and maybe Dan, you can prove me right on this. One of the issues, right, that we're facing with this housing crisis is because of the military buildup that is currently happening, right? So, if creating this, even if it does allow more military to occupy that, in the grander scheme of things, you
It's
start seeing rates
still a
coming
benefit.
down, then helping builders, right?
Yeah.
So that's one way to look at it. Of course, I'm sure that the people who grew up in this street, the go-to family,
Yeah.
it's one of those things that will impact them. But at the end of the day, the property is under the complex, right? And this is what they're trying to do here. So
Advice, we will work with your office to do what we can, as I mentioned in the other public hearings. We do have the Fair Housing Act, and we have to be equal to everybody coming in the door, wanting to rent and being qualified, so, yeah,
I had a question from somebody who is watching live.
thank you.
What is your plan for the students, the children who will be living in these houses as far as a bus shelter? I'm looking on your legend here, I don't see anything unless I overlooked it, but where do you plan on, or do you plan on having a bus shelter for
Absolutely.
kids?
Good point, absolutely. A bus-
Within or
A bus shelter will be just outside there, and we'll create something. As you know, bus stop shelters location are approved by Public Works and the mayor's office, right? So wherever y'all want it, we will make an adjustment. We may have a pull-in somewhere in this 15-foot buffer strip, want to boop, back out for the buses to go in there like that. So we don't have to, I did the same thing at the Jack in the Box. Right around the corner there, where the bus stop shelter is, there's a pull-off. the Jack in the Box property, so buses don't have to stop traffic.
Yeah.
So something like that at a place mutually agreeable to the mayor's office and Public Works bus operations, yeah.
But there is plans for one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, and then I'm glad that you mentioned that, because you mentioned it's gonna be on the property. Okay, so in the long run, because we're experiencing that right now, there was a bus stop, portion of the bus stop is on private property, which was being used back then by the children of. And so we're trying to rebuild that bus stop, but of course, the property owner had placed,
Oh.
yeah, so, I'm on that thought of, because, I'm looking long term.
Okay, here's my answer to that. We will build and maintain that bus stop shelter on our property. Okay, so you don't have to worry about, oh, how can we go on private property to paint it or something like that, right? I think that's where you were going with that.
No, actually, because the bus stop that is on private property partial of the bus stop, we're not able to rebuild that bus stop. And so
Oh,
I'm just thinking in that same thought with the one further in.
Well,
because that's-
one way we've handled that in the past is we have dedicated that little property to GovLaw.
Mm.
Yeah, and we can do that. We can give we can give private property, we just can't take public property. Yeah.
Yes.
So if that would work better for you, Mayor, and we'll discuss that during the location of the whole thing. If that works better.
Allocate a certain part back to the government.
Yeah. Yeah, just parcel it out. There's probably an easier way. I think we can give an easement. I don't think it has to be right away. We just give an easement. A specific easement for a school bus stop shelter, construction, maintenance, and use. Something like that. Does that work?
I'm just curious.
And that could serve as a model also for maybe some of the others that.
I'm just curious because I'm looking at where the Payless property is at, the one closest to the property. Is there a big enough, down at the bottom? Yeah, so, the white portion there to the right, yeah, so up there around that area, closest to the property.
Yes, it did.
Is there any maybe plan of putting a bus stop there where the kids, it's not out on the road? And they're,
Well, he was saying he was gonna push it in, right?
Well, I was thinking a bus stop shelter would be better along here because we can make a pull-in. For the bus.
okay, I see.
Yeah, a pull-in for the bus, so that the bus pulls in, on the right-hand side, door opens, children go from the sidewalk right on the first step of the bus. Yeah, check out Jack in the Box, I did this down there for that too, works very well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just where here is dependent on, because Public Works is gonna have some issues about not so close to that and not across from this.
Right.
We can work that out.
At the same time, it works. If you have any kids staying at the apartments
Yes.
on Payless,
Yes.
they'll be able to utilize that bus stop.
Yes, yeah.
Stay away from the street.
I don't know where they get on the bus now.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but yes, absolutely. Yeah, good ideas. Public hearings always create better projects.
Any questions?
I think, Robert said he has a question.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes,
Go
Robert.
ahead, Rob.
Hi, thank you so much, Mayor and Vice. I just want to echo what Vice Mayor said earlier, with regard to his comments on the development. And I just want to share, from Lawrence and I who attended the public hearing, I guess when Mr. Swayze first presented, there was a huge attendance from residents in that area, and who also just fall out with the everyone share their concerns for this development. Other than that, yeah, that's what I just want to say, and thank you.
So I summarized, thank you, I summarized the 5 concerns I took away from the record of the June 17th public hearing, and those are the 5 I discussed right there. Plus, we've added others with the mural and now the bus stop in here and things like that. Yeah. We are, at this point, we are looking for approval with conditions, okay? With conditions, all right? The mayor knows me, I work with her. As this thing goes through the planning and design stage, I'll keep her informed, and other things come up and we can possibly incorporate them. She knows what to do.
That's good for Jigo all the way around. It's just, we just need to, as a council, to make sure that our kids, the kids that are going to be in, the kids that are safe with the bus coming, the traffic, because if you have so much holdup in traffic, there could be an accident happening. You know, that's my main concern. As far as the prices for renting, that's just the way the economy is right now. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we want to help those people, and we would love to have affordable housing and apartments, but our economy doesn't allow for that right now. It's just so sad. I mean, but, you know, this is, to me, this would be good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I did mention that there is another approved apartment across from Zero Down subdivision. I took it through GLUC, during the last administration, but it has not yet begun. And it's only 32 units, and it will be developed by VG Goza, the contractor. But half of those units are already pledged for H2 workers. So even when it comes online, it's only going to be 16. Yeah, and that's a totally different world from here.
I wanted to share, you mentioned that comment earlier about the military, right? But if you plan to build this complex, to make it all military specs, which would be much safer. It doesn't matter local or military, that rent,
Still safe.
it's still safe.
Still better.
Yeah.
A better product.
Because I'm looking at, you're gonna have quite a few military might want to be renting there.
Well,
But if
Jigo
you
goes
go,
to
I mean,
Anderson.
this is business, right?
Yeah.
But if you make that whole place military spec, which it makes our people safer, whoever's renting, it will be a plus for us.
And it takes that apartment pressure off of other apartments.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have one
You're right.
fire station, one ambulance, one truck.
Oh, yeah.
Being safe
Oh, yeah, you're right.
is for the people, is a very,
You're right.
in my opinion.
Yes. Absolutely.
So having this here, can you throw in that deal with the prices of paint going down? If we have this,
Well, as long as Donkey keeps working, it's gonna keep coming down.
Okay, any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay, so, because, Councilmember Robert Bresson has brought up about, a testimony that was provided, unfortunately, we don't have it with us right now. I'm going to ask the body if you would like to vote on this project, or would you want to wait and we can schedule a special meeting? Only because we want to give the opportunity of that person who submitted testimony, we want to be able to read what their testimony is on, and we just want to afford that opportunity to the individual. So we can vote on this today, or we can schedule another meeting, a special meeting, specifically for this, because again, this application will not move forward until we come up with a resolution. So,
So I have a question. So the concern that was brought up, by Mr. Martinez, there's testimony that was submitted,
he,
written testimony.
Verbal, written.
Bob, Robert?
Hi, so, sorry, did you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for that question, Pete. So, so the testimony that I was referring to, that was submitted to the Department of Land Management staff. And, it was also read on the record at the public hearing. And then I believe that, I can't remember her name, but yeah, she had two testimonies, that she read that on that day, and it was submitted to land management. And then I know that there's also a couple of residents in the area who plan on submitting testimony. So I can see that would be coming in the coming days before if this does get voted on and does proceed to the land commission for voting.
Okay, so is that testimony being submitted to land management?
I can see that it'll be, I think that it'll be addressed to land management and also to the mayor's office. Yeah.
Mayor, may I qualify here? So we kind of on two different tracks here. The first hearing is handled by the Department of Land Management.
Right.
These are you guys. So at the first hearing, there was testimony, there was some testimony submitted. To the best of our knowledge, we responded to it, okay, because it's not just submitted, it's read as well. And then the way the system works is land management creates its own position statement on the basis of that first hearing and letters like this that it gets. So that letter will be acknowledged through the land management case planner route, okay? We're a little separate from that. This is about these two hearings, two previous hearings, and this hearing right here. Two different tracks, but they all end up at the same place, just as a clarification.
And that's the reason why I inquired was whether or not that is something that, we, in our role as the municipal council, whether that's something that is being submitted to us and they want us to look at it. And I understand it was at the public hearing, but if it's already submitted to land management, then I don't know if that is a reason to table this, if you understand what I'm saying. Sort of like what Mr. Swayze is saying is that there are sort of different functions.
Two tracks.
Right. And whether or not that is something that is gonna hold up this track. And if it's already being submitted in the other track, then maybe we should go ahead and proceed and take a vote. That's my thought.
I have the same feeling. I agree with you.
I'm sorry if I may, respectfully, I think I would also just like to make a motion to, maybe if we could table this to the next scheduled NPC meeting. That's what I would motion.
Okay, so there's a motion by Councilmember Robert Martinez to table this application until the next meeting.
Before we vote on that, address that motion, the person who submitted this letter or verbal thing, is it gonna come to us, or is it, like Mr. Swayze said, it's gonna go to land management? If it goes to land management, then we should be able to vote on it tonight.
It's actually gonna go to land management. It should go to land management.
So there's one more hearing after this, the land management, or wait, the land use commission?
No,
Well, this
No.
is the final.
The two public hearings that we conducted is the final, and then we do, the resolution. And then that gets submitted to land management, and then the application moves forward. For as long as we don't submit the resolution, the application is at a standstill.
But the Guam Islands Commission still has to meet to
Yes,
approve that.
yes, that's right, yeah.
So technically, there's another.
By law, this NPC has 40 calendar days to submit a resolution, okay? Sooner you get it in, the sooner we go to GOUC, and that itself is a big public hearing, okay? Anybody can go there,
And that is
anybody
what I
can
checked.
resubmit what they submitted before, or re-say what they wanted to say. I'll be making a presentation, you know what I'm gonna be saying. I'll be making a presentation, and that's where it kind of comes together. This is kind of an independent review and request for your feelings about how to proceed. And it's only a recommendation. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to belittle it because
Right.
it's frankly, it's rare. Not impossible, but it's rare that the Guam Land Use Commission goes in conflict with an NPC. Okay, it's happened, but it's rare. Yeah. So if we can get this out of the way, the sooner we get to Guam Land Use Commission.
Okay, so on the motion by Councilmember Robert Martinez to table, those in favor, you say aye. Those, he only made a motion. We did, oh, I'm sorry. Second, I'm sorry. Second, anybody want to second the motion? No second?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Vice Mayor. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Motion carried. Okay, now going to, back to, the application. Is there a motion to vote on the application?
I motion to vote on the application.
I'll second.
There was a motion by Councilmember Norma Salas to vote on the application, seconded by Mr. Pete Sanchez. All in favor, say aye.
Real quick, just from my peace of mind. With this public hearing, there was no representatives that were opposed to this that came today, that they're asking to submit something. Did anybody come in regards to this? The people that were trying to submit?
No, they came to the public hearing
The
that was
initial, yeah,
conducted.
okay,
yes,
I just
but
wanted to
not-
make sure.
Yeah, not our, the council's public hearing.
Okay, that's all, yeah.
And then they still have one more.
Yes, yeah, I just wanted to confirm that no one came today.
I didn't hear that.
Okay, so on the motion to vote, those in favor say aye.
I
Those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, so, the council is in favor of this application. I will prepare the resolution. I will work with Dan, Mr. Gasway, and Kyle to ensure that we capture all the conditions that was brought up and ensure that it gets to land management.
Do we all have
Of
to
course.
sign, or is it just you?
Myself and the secretary.
Can we review the language?
Yes, so what I will do, and that's what I was going to say was, prior to signing, I will provide a copy for each of you to review. If there's anything that, and likewise to Mr. Gans review, I will also provide him a copy and ensure that everything that was discussed, that was presented, conditions that are in the resolution.
Can I also ask that copies be made available at the mayor's office for anybody that wants to submit any additional comments that we're able to state?
Good idea.
So just to be clear, the recommendation is approval with conditions.
The conditions that we made here, plus the promises I made, the presentations, and I'll outline them all as a first draft for everyone.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to,
Thank you, too.
thank you. Moving on to new business. Okay, we have a zone change application from agricultural to commercial. The applicant is Mr. Roland Cruz. Unfortunately, Department of Land Management scheduled a public hearing on July 29th. However, that was canceled due to the storm. There was no new date. However, I will keep you apprised. The application is being represented by Mr. Frank Roberto.
Mayor, this is not the same where you came in and something about the house? This is not the same one, right?
No.
Okay, this is
No,
different.
this is a different one.
Okay.
Yes. The reason why I put it here is because this was supposed to happen, the public hearing was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen.
Okay.
And so just so that you're aware that this is, any questions? No?
Sorry, it's for August 31st.
Okay, my apologies. The new public hearing date is scheduled for August 31st, 6 p.m. at the gym. And so we decided to move it to the gym because as you see, the ongoing work, we don't want to disrupt, okay? So August 31st, 6 p.m., and this is for applicant Roland Cruz from agricultural to commercial. Any questions? No? Okay, moving to announcements. Any announcements?
Sorry, I have a question. I am so sorry, I should have asked this at old business, is that okay?
Sure.
I just wanted to do a follow-up on the, gosh, it was a while ago, the OPA, things that you were going through regarding the,
Is that
the
a funding
funding
grant?
the grant, yes. Has there been any updates on that?
No, so,
Again, I apologize,
I
I haven't recently heard.
So I did call the ED's office to try to speak to somebody, to get guidance as to what route to take. And of course, I don't know if they're inundated with work, but I will follow up again with them because definitely I want to move forward with this. But I just need to know what steps to take.
Is this, we have the extension until 2027 though, correct, not 2026?
December 31st, 2026.
26, however, we can request for an extension. Of course, that approval would have to come from him. So. Okay. Sorry, okay. Announcements, any announcements? No announcements?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, just to let you guys know, we'll be mowing the grass at the field Friday, so if you want to stop by and do drinks. Okay. No, I'm just joking. My team softball, or my softball team that uses the field, on the weekdays, we're gonna go and give back to you guys, and we're gonna do it.
Yes, thank you.
So the American, so your boys can go do something else.
What is your name, the name of your
Team
team?
Mattel,
Team Mattel.
yes, Mattel.
Team Mattel.
Yeah.
Yes, so Norma's team, coach is Joe
Good.
they've been using the field, weekdays. I think they start their practice at 10.
Yeah, just to
10 in the
FYI,
morning to like 12 afternoon. So.
and we pick up all the trash that's there at night,
Thank you.
and just even until the vice versa in the bathroom, long cover, you're gonna combine to get up, so.
Thank you to Team Matam because aside from, doing that, they've also donated, trash cans, and some supplies, so, that really goes a long way, at least, for the use of the field and for the staff. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just want to help you guys as much as we can, any little bit, helps you guys.
So, I'm sorry, I failed to mention this, but, so the Bobby account, we were able to purchase a light tower. Yes, more bush cutters, more blowers. So we purchased one back in San Laku.
Yeah.
So now we have two.
Is this the one that'll be driving a trailer and you know? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We also purchased, two, trailer water blasters, that's the one with its own water tank.
Which is also, but the cool thing about the light towers is also a generator, so if you guys have
Yes.
emergency
So they
generator.
utilized it too as a generator
Yeah.
recently to go fix the bus stop and
Yes.
the guy was.
Yeah, so, and then of course we purchased,
Yeah,
two generators. So,
so the next typhoon or so.
yeah, so we're trying to build our inventory. And that's one of the reasons why in Octo Class 230, we just took the money out and transferred it elsewhere because, we have the backhoe, which we purchased, from Sinaku, and that has really helped us. So we don't have to rent, and I tell you, Ethan's putting it to good use. So, that's the whole thing is I'm trying to, take the money and put it in the capital obviously so that we can purchase equipment that we may need, in the future for during the storm or.
You know we're gonna need this.
Yes, so, yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, we expanded our inventory, and we're still looking to purchase more equipment.
Yeah, because we started in the beginning with the truck with no key.
And borrowed lawnmowers from Leslie. Or Youmatic, you're right, Youmatic.
Yes.
Well, they gave it to us, right, so.
Yeah.
Yes, so we might.
Tomorrow borrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the officials, one of them went down, but Ethan managed to, salvage parts from one of the trucks to fix that one. But then we still have that one white one that's still down.
What's our,
The blue truck, is it Dodge? The Dodge Ram that, Ed usually drives, he calls it Big Blue, went down.
I did.
So we need it.
But we have two new trucks that,
The white truck.
Yeah, so- the wife drives one of them, and then the other one, when the ladies have to go get supplies, and it's overload, so they would use the truck. So we try to keep one for office runs and whatever, and then the wife has the other one. But, yeah, it doesn't hurt to get another one.
After getting that done, I'll be really glad to lend my truck to the guy.
What about, I suggest buying goats?
Go.
No, that's a really good.
You pass by my house, I have one right there in the front.
So the government
His name
goes
is
and
Barry.
insured and
He said,
I really do have a goat at the other side of my entrance. His name is Babby. Just don't hit him, he's a vet, we're not raising him.
the only thing I think that's missing from the current lineup, the only thing if you have licensing thing on your side would be a passenger van.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's kind of like the only thing where,
like a 13-seater.
so if anything above, I think 8-seater, you're gonna need like additional licensing.
Yeah.
But, like, a 10 packs or even a 15 packs would probably like benefit the office a lot,
You know what I want now?
No, but for sure, like, the only reason I'm saying that is like, a lot of times, especially with the storms and stuff, you guys are out there,
Yeah, so, you know, the office does have a van. I can't remember where we inherited
We
that
got
van.
that from, the court, yeah, the court.
The court.
So it has the.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra safe.
Yeah, the safety, yeah.
So, you know, really, during the storm, that's what they were using to transport families.
So we put
Because aside,
two benches in
yeah,
the
two
back.
benches, and aside from the family, we have room for their stuff. We used it to transport the summer youth employees from the office to wherever they were going to do work. So, you know, I mean,
That's a really good idea.
yeah,
You know,
but
that's for the next summer program.
I thought about that because I've seen, Maribana, who has a van,
One guy drives it.
yeah, so,
If, I would recommend though, like especially since you're not limited to like height stuff in Jigo, get a high roof. Because you guys need to be able to transport stuff with it, because all the seats are modular. So let's just say you have a special project and you need to buy stuff that's a little bit higher, or you're transporting these whiteboards, you know, you just be able to throw them inside and not have to worry. Or you could just pull out the back, you know, 3 rows, and then just have 2 rows in front and have extra storage. So,
that's nice. And also, our
I know,
inventory.
salesperson is.
you know, that goes to the bid process, so I'm not even involved in that one. So, but you know, it's definitely something that. Because, yeah,
So.
vehicles go to bid process
So we
different.
included in our inventory 2 traders, aluminum traders, and 2, what is it, tilt?
Tilt bed traders.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
How does this transfer, transport these, family?
No.
yeah, we don't do it anymore.
Limited.
So when he was doing it, it was a trader, and he dragged that thing onto the trader with,
And
I
then
don't know
back
what.
it up with another
Yeah.
truck to get it on.
Really?
Yes, so,
But do we have that long trailer?
We have a long trailer now.
We can invest in which.
but, you know.
Yeah, that won't
he's
sit
been-
at the wall.
Yeah, it is, and it's a good one because, yes, seeing Ethan do that, right? I don't care how you do it, as long as it gets done,
Different.
and it gets
And you
done.
know, we're gonna keep you
And
powdering
we-
that thing here,
Yeah.
we're gonna always see where you start.
So. But yeah, definitely we'll look into it then. Official. Okay, any other announcements? No? Okay, this meeting is adjourned.